Benjamin Franklin once said, "Eat to live, don't live to eat." And if old Ben was living today, you know, he would probably need a whole bottle of Tums when he sees how we constantly are putting down these hamburgers, pizza, and fries, right? But there's one thing that I've learned is that you don't have to give up America's favorite foods to be healthy. You just have to eat them smarter, right? Make them smarter. And today, I'm going to show you guys how to eat the foods you love guilt-free. Most of us think that burgers, pizza, and fries, and fried chicken are junk food. Off limits, if you want to lose weight, get in shape, and heal your body. But research groups like the NIH, the WHO, say that it's not about never eating these foods. It's about swapping how they're made. For example, hamburgers, right? The problem, right? They're fatty beef, white bread, bun, with a cheese mountain, and some mystery sauce on it, right? Well, one solution, right, could be like just maybe we eat lean beef, right? Or turkey, right? Or even salmon. Or even just work out harder that day, and then just make sure that we're going to use that meat, right, in our bodies. Our bodies are going to use it, And then what you could do is you can just throw it on either sourdough or whole grain bread, like a bun, or a wrap, and like with lettuce, and then you can add avocados, onions, and tomatoes. The Cleveland Clinic shows that just swapping to lean meat and whole grain bread cuts calories and saturated fat almost in half without losing the flavor. Yeah, so for health concerns, you want to go with that lean meat, right? If you want to lose weight, probably a good idea. Like I build a lot of muscle, so I can eat more fat and get away with it, right? For that kind of fat, that kind of saturated fat, right? And my body will use it. But if I didn't work out, I wouldn't eat that stuff at all, right? I just eat the lean meat only. And I do that limited. So, yeah, you can still fire up the grill, you guys, but just be smarter about what's sizzling, okay? So what about French fries, right? Well, that's America's crispy kryptonite, right? We all love our McDonald's fries, right? Our French fries, right? Deep fried potatoes, right? In cheap oil, right? Probably chemicals if it's fast food, right? And then we get big old portions, extra large, right? With a salt overload. So the solution would be for that would be you can air fry them. That helps, right? You can bake sweet potato fries with olive oil or, coconut oil, right? Paprika and garlic powder. The CDC recommends swapping for the sweet potatoes, right? And maybe spicing them up, right? They're packed with vitamin A and fiber. So fries don't have to be guilty, right? They can actually do your gut favor. You just still don't want to eat too much of them, right? And if you have regular fries, well, you can get the organic ones, the frozen ones, and then you can just grab like a handful and not like just have a whole bowl full, right? And then just heat those up because they're frozen. Or you can buy a potato, right, and just cut it up, right? But I think the main thing is that you don't want to eat too many of those things because those are starches and those will stick to you and you won't be able to lose weight. How about pizza? Well, yeah, pizza, golly, thick crust, cheese, avalanche with, pepperoni, maybe throw bacon on top, right? Whatever, right? With some grease drip everywhere. So delicious. And it's a heart attack waiting to happen, right? If you're unhealthy. But you can eat healthy pizza, right? just use, thin whole grain crust or a cauliflower crust if you're adventurous, or you're gluten-free, right? Lighter cheese. You don't have to load it up that much. And then load it with veggies instead of all the other stuff, right? And instead of pepperoni, you can switch for, chicken or some turkey sausage. I always recommend organic chicken because chicken is toxic if you don't get organic chicken, right? And the Cleveland Clinic and the WHO, right, both back this up. Whole grains, less processed meat, more veggies equals way less inflammation and way more nutrients, right? So the bottom line is that pizza night is still on the table. And then how about fried chicken, right? Fried chicken, crispy, crunchy, and greasy and clogging your arteries. But if you bake it or air fry it with maybe some almond flour or whole wheat breadcrumbs, right? You get the crunch without the grease bath. And Harvard studies reveal that fried foods skyrocket heart disease risk, but baked versions slash that risk while keeping the taste. How about pasta, mac and cheese? Well, that's one of America's comfort foods, right? The problem is that it's refined pasta and, basically cream bombs. So the solution would be whole grain and lentil pasta, mixed veggies. You can mix them right into the sauce, right? Use Greek yogurt or blended cauliflower to make it creamy. The WHO and the NIH recommend replacing refined carbs with whole grains and sneaking vegetables in, boosting fiber and micronutrients. Here's the deal. You don't have to give up the food you love. Hamburgers, fries, pizza, fried chicken, and pasta. They can all stay. You just need to change how you make them. As Dr. Berg likes to say, it's about eating nutrient-dense food. And as Barbara O'Neill reminds us, your body is designed to heal if you stop poisoning it. Swap smart, eat smarter, and enjoy your food without guilt. And on this channel, Ron Calvillo, my channel, I have free downloadable workouts and food plans that you can start now. So you can actually learn how to eat, make all the foods you want. Basically, I have shopping lists it tells you which aisles to go on, which foods to get. So you can try to increase longevity and stop poisoning yourself every day. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to start now with your blueprint for exercise and weight loss success, you can find there's a playlist. You can start watching the videos and download the workouts and stuff, right? But comment if you're going to start, and then subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can see my motivational videos every morning, and you can see these videos twice a week. So I do 7 videos a week. So anyways, have a great day, everybody.